Hello and welcome. I'm a storyteller. This is the world of Atlantica, a grimdark tabletop RPG world-building project for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Old School Essentials, and potentially other systems. Today's episode focuses on a brand new class for Old School Essentials we've made called the Seer, based very, very loosely upon seers and fortune tellers from folklore. Now, in Atlantica, the seer's powers are based upon the calendar. The calendar in the world is divided into fortnights. There are 30 fortnights, each with 14 days. That gives us a total of 420 days. One might say the perfect number of days, even. Each fortnight corresponds with one of the powers that a seer might have. And that's because every 2 weeks, the seer loses contact with one spirit and gains contact with another spirit. And the associated ability and taboo associated with that spirit. The seer is known for predicting the future, and the way they do this is by obtaining insights from the ghosts of the past. So they don't really predict the future. They're just really great at giving advice sometimes. And in fact, they're so well known for this that sometimes well-known seers are called upon by the wealthy in society to do just that. Successful seers can charge quite exorbitant rates for performing this service. So there's this list of powers that they have. Each power corresponds with, we just give the title of the spirit, as well as a forced taboo. At the start, the seer gets just one ability. This is determined by the calendar date. Now, with that said, if you wanted to run a seer in another OSR setting, their abilities might instead just be rolled at random on a 30-sided die or determined some other way. Whatever. Anyway, as the seer gains levels and gets more abilities, this gives them some flexibility in how they can be played. And as they gain levels, their ability to retain spirits for longer periods of time increases. At level 2, the seer can keep one spirit in their mind in addition to the spirit that visits each fortnight. That means that basically that the seer at level 2 has 2 abilities and 2 taboos. And this can increase all the way up until level 14, at which case a seer could potentially have up to 7. They could store 6 abilities plus an additional fortnight ability potentially. Now, with that said, spirits do not, once you've selected a spirit to keep it in your mind, the seer, that spirit is not replaced on the calendar. You know, if a seer has, say, 4 abilities stored, and they get to the time, the fortnight in which one of their stored spirits, it's their time. You know, there's not like a new spirit there on that fortnight. Now, with that said, at the start of any fortnight, a seer may switch their abilities by dismissing one spirit in their head, basically in exchange for the newly arrived spirit. And in fact, a seer they can only get a new spirit at the start of each fortnight, but they in fact may dismiss one or any number or all of their spirits at any time. And the reason they may wanted to do that, not entirely likely, but when I say a seer keeps a spirit in their head, I mean they literally have someone that they can internally monologue with for good and for bad. This is a person who lived, who died, who has their own knowledge base. And each time that spirit visits the seer for a fortnight, they come back the next year, and this is regardless of whether or not they had an argument last year, or God forbid they got dismissed and they didn't want to. And anyway, this gives the seer class a lot of role-playing opportunity because of the spirits of other characters basically inside their head. These spirits might be very keen on offering advice, but they also can have their own personalities and sometimes even their own motivations and desires. The seer is a unique class in this respect, And in fact, many seers speak with the spirits of their own deceased ancestors, who in fact might be quite opinionated how the seer lives their own life. Um, Regardless, the requirements for being a seer in the world of Atlantica would be, well, their prime requisite a constitution, but also intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. All four of these stats have to be a 9 or higher. They get a d6 hit dice, maximum hit levels 14. They can use light armor, no shields, any weapon. Um, Now, they come from, the seers come from a specific ethnic group in the world of Atlantica, and this is a persecuted ethnic group on the Isles of Icaria. High level seers have are highly sought after by wealthy patrons sometimes. But with that said, um, it can be a little dangerous to be a seer, as it can be many magical classes. Their saving throws, experience, hit dice, stacko, all of that jazz is going to be very similar to the cleric you'll find. And as far as other abilities, um, basically we've got at level 9 the seer. A seer with funds can construct a temple, or if they would prefer, a large wagon train to attract followers, and they would get 3d6 human commoners who follow the seer religiously. In addition, the seer would get 2d4 level 1 followers of various levels, who are not, commoners, just level 1 characters. Anyway, um, each of the abilities that they get can come with some pretty serious taboos. For example, the untouchable ancestor sounds is pretty awesome, +2 to armor class. However, such a character must not use melee weapons. Anyway, for the seers, they hail from the Sowers, the Sowers, a human farming society. The Sowers once stretched across almost all of Calamar, but they sided with the Elves during the Great Rebellion of the Orcs and Men centuries ago, and once the Elf Empire collapsed, the Sowers became a persecuted group on the Isles of Icaria. Now they live almost entirely in southeast Calamar. For centuries, their lands were stolen. They were burned as witches. Even now, they face a great deal of discrimination on the continent. Anyway, with that said, if you want a copy of the Seer class, as well as other playable classes, NPCs, maps, monsters, all sorts of stat blocks and jazz. For now, you can check out the World of Atlantica Discord channel link below. Once we've got enough content to make supplements, we'll put links up to that. So that'll be as a pay-as-you-want on Drive-Thru RPG, so you can get that for free if you want. And we've got a lot more coming up in the future, so like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, peace!